Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity, a show about weirdos. With your hosts, John Fahey, Aaron Peter, and Matt Brousseau.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity. It's a show about weirdos, doggone it. My name is John Boy. I am your host, John Francis Fahey. Joining me as ever is Tom Wanks.
Tom Wanks?
Oh, my God.
He's from Charlie's Cock is Sore.
Oh, wait. Charlie Wilson's War?
I think
Yeah,
that's what I was going for.
yeah.
I made it Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Also a good guy.
Yeah, Charlie Cox?
Yeah.
Solid guy.
Yeah.
Daredevil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Good guy.
He's got that red bat. He's got a little red bat.
Yeah.
He does.
So I don't know who that is. Oh, the baton?
Daredevil. Yeah.
He has got the little walking stick.
he's got
there.
a
The
little-
cocking stick.
Got a little red bat. How you doing, Aaron Joseph Pita?
Pretty good. How are you?
Very, very good.
Matt?
Yep.
That's handsome Matt Brousseau.
Tom Seldick.
Nice.
Seldick. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Seldick.
Thank you.
I believe we've gone there before.
Magnum PP.
Thank you, compadre.
Compadre is good.
Mm.
Because you're a dad,
Yeah.
and you came.
That's how I became a dad.
I think I'm going to be covering a compadre pretty soon here in the show.
Oh, like a priest?
Exactly. Very much like a priest.
And of course, our great host, Goo Carey,
Oh, who'd that come from?
Flash Jackson.
Flash. I heard about that. Very good.
Flash.
Goo Carey. That's me.
Whose line is it any gay, he said.
Goose line, is it?
Goo's line, that's, yeah.
Stumblebird hit me with an entire roster
Oh, good.
of... I don't even know who all these are, but this is the Do-A-Guy squad,
Oh, Suicide Squad.
right?
Mhm.
Do a
And
guy
so-
squad.
So it's the Do-A-Guy squad.
Hey.
And it's Hardly Benz, Splackguard, King Shart, Cum Shot, One Stroke, One Stroke,
One stroke.
That's nice.
Cock King, Lame,
Lame?
yeah, I don't know who Lame is,
Bane?
Yeah, is it lame?
and then he also added Mike Tyson's.
Okay. All right.
He said, he goes, I hope you've done your yoga with some of the stretches there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
quite
think
a
I
bit.
pulled something.
Yeah.
Listening.
Only once, though.
Gentlemen, we are, as always, having a good old time over on the Patreon.
Yeah.
And the numbers just keep climbing up over there. It's well over 400 now. Very
Swell.
happy about that.
Very lovely comments.
Yes,
Very.
we got a good
Got
one
some,
this
got
weekend.
a lot of sweet messages.
Could do more of that.
Could do, yeah. Also, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you something.
Uh-huh.
No.
Reviews. We don't ever ask people to review.
No.
Oh, right.
But if you do it, I'll read them.
Yep.
I will read them. So if, especially do it on Apple, it's very good for the algo.
Yeah,
Old
yeah.
algo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll read them.
Like, subscribe, rate. If you could give us 5 stars, hey.
Fucking crush that bell.
Boom, boom.
Ding.
Yeah, fucking splack the bell. $5 a month, of course, an extra show per week, and it's a real nice time.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be having one without Matt here shortly.
Real nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be Matt's taking off. He's absconding. He's going off to do God knows what.
Oh, you'll have to listen to find out.
Yeah. But yes, please check us out over there. Check out the Etsy store if you want a T-shirt. We have PP shirts.
Mhm.
All kinds of neat little tricks. Now, Aaron, I believe you're going to get into a long-awaited profile.
Yeah, it's one that it's always been there in the back of my noggin.
Yeah.
But you know, life happens, and you forget. Like, oh, I thought about this guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Um.
Can't be doing all your days thinking about this fucking wacko pervert
No. I mean,
trying to raise a family.
Jesus.
Trying to be a wacko pervert.
Exactly, and he would not like it. He would not like the stuff that I've gotten up to.
I don't think he would like this show at all.
No,
Get in line, buddy.
not one bit.
Yeah.
Um,
He'd be against it.
I want you to picture in your mind's eye.
Okay. I think I can do that.
You're in a beautiful, natural scene.
Mm.
Just
Serene.
you're out there. You're in Michigan, And a little man, no more than 5'4", dressed completely in white, with a cockatoo on his shoulder. He's center stage, and he's playing catch with a chimp.
Oh boy.
He's not playing catch with a ball. Dr. John Harvey Kellogg is throwing pieces of steak at the chimp, who threw him right back.
Huh.
And the good doctor repeated the same act, but using a banana. But this time, his co-star didn't return the toss. To the applause of the thronging thousands who had filled the great hall at the sanitarium in Battle Creek, Michigan, the chimp happily ate the banana.
Aw.
And John said, "Look, even a dumb animal knows what it should eat and what it should not."
Wow.
This
Fucking
is
idiot.
this is the profile of Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, born February 26th, one day after me, in 1852. He was the fifth of 16 children.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Good Lord.
That poor woman.
He was born in Tyrone, Michigan.
Tyrone.
It's Irish now?
It's an Irish county. Tyrone.
Oh, okay.
And it's a black guy.
And it's also a black man. One.
He was born in Tyrone, Michigan, into a family associated with the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Oh, we've talked about a few of them.
His parents, John Preston Kellogg and Anne Jeanette Stanley, were very committed to the church's emphasis on health and wellness. Do you know?
And breeding.
What do we know? Do we know anything about the Seventh-day Adventist?
I don't remember their whole squad's deal. Do you remember, Matt?
I don't remember the whole deal. I believe Amy Semple McPherson.
Yeah, probably. So I think she was associated with them as well. A woman named Ellen White. She. I believe she was associated with the Millerite
Oh, okay.
movement. And then she
No,
Not the Miller Lite movement.
No, well,
that's us.
yeah, we're associated.
That's us.
And they were they one of the Doomers?
That's right.
Okay.
They were apocalyptic in their beliefs. In
And
fact,
real bummer.
one of these Millerite prophecies about the apocalypse never happened. It was supposed to happen in October something,
Yeah.
1854. It never happened, and it was referred to as the Great Disappointment.
That's right. Yes.
She
The Great Disappointment, continuing to live.
yeah.
Another day.
She formed the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Battle Creek, Michigan in 1854, this Ellen White woman, after receiving visions and messages from God. And this religion had connected spiritual and physical health and required followers to adhere to strict guidelines for hygiene, diet, and chastity. Chastity, John, that is it's not just a stripper name.
It's no nut.
It's no nut.
That's right. Yeah.
Or even attempting to.
No, that's disappointing.
So members were required to have a vegetarian diet, were discouraged from consuming tobacco, coffee, tea, alcohol, etc. Moreover, overeating, any sort of overindulgence, wearing corsets, and other evils were believed to lead to unholy acts like masturbation and excessive sexual intercourse.
Oh, that's nice.
No, that's why you have 17 children instead.
Yeah, they probably had sex 17 times.
Yeah. One small correction. Amy Semple McPherson was Pentecostal.
Got it.
All right.
I remember doing that profile.
That was a good one. Now here's this one.
Sorry. I just wanted to get one fact correct before I continue.
And so, his family, being Seventh-day Adventists, very much informed his worldview. His family actually moved to Battle Creek in 1856 to be more active members of the congregation. And now he was a sickly kid. He didn't have a great diet like many people of the time.
Sure.
He nearly died of tuberculosis. He had stunted growth because of his sickness. I think he also suffered a few bouts of very serious constipation and eventually colitis.
Oh,
which is,
Lord.
inflammation of the colon. And doctors were shunned by his family and many people.
Fuck out of here.
Many people of the time, because doctors back then a lot of them were quacks and glorified butchers.
Yeah, and they kill presidents.
Sawbones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get in there and they muck around.
They give you mercury for things.
Yeah.
A lot of bloodletting,
They
etc.
poke around with an unwashed finger. Yeah.
He once saw a young friend be bled by a doctor on a kitchen table.
Yeah.
And when asked by his parents what he wanted to be when he grew up, he said anything but a doctor.
Wow.
So his father,
These guys hate doctors.
his father starts a broom factory in Battle Creek.
You got to have brooms back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
Gotta keep
Yeah.
it clean.
It's a mess.
Yeah, everything's dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, because the Kellogg's believed that the second coming of Christ was imminent, they figured that formal education of their children was unnecessary.
Yeah, that's...
Well, fuck it, who cares? What do you need to go to school for?
Yeah, what are you going to learn in heaven?
Come on. Everything you need to know right here in this book,
Uh-huh.
and then die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they also farming and stuff too? Is it that kind of?
No. I mean, they ran a factory, and
Oh, that's right. Yes.
it's the 60s at this point.
Got it.
And although Michigan is kind of considered the West, it is a town.
Yeah.
One day, son, none of this will be yours because we'll all be in heaven.
As far as I know, his family was not doing any farming. So he only went to public schools in Battle Creek from ages 9 to 11, and he left school to work sorting brooms in his father's broom factory after that.
Good broom.
To sort them.
Short
Yeah,
broom.
because you got to sort these things. You got to get the straw, the corn straws. They got to be this long, and then they can't be any longer.
No.
Otherwise, you got a fucked up broom.
Yep,
Yeah.
bad broom.
And then these ones go over here, and these ones go over here.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then you go left and right.
Mhm.
And now that's a brush.
Put that down.
Put that down. That's not a broom. That's a brush. Gee.
I'd kill you if God wouldn't do it for me.
Nonetheless, he still was a very curious child and read voraciously as much as he could, and required a broad but largely self-taught education.
Mhm.
At age 12, he was offered work by the Whites, Ellen White
Yeah.
and her husband. He became one of their proteges, eventually going from an errand boy to the printer's devil, which is basically an errand boy. You're not even really an apprentice. You just do everything for the guy who runs the print shop.
The printer's devil.
Yeah, an actual position. And eventually he started doing proofreading and editorial work. At 14, he became a vegetarian and would remain so for life. And so he was doing really well for the Whites family and for the race in general.
Sure,
later on.
sure, yeah.
Let's see. And so I think I'm missing a page here, Matt. Oh, you got double-side pages. Oh.
I didn't mean to, sorry.
Okay. No, that's helpful. Yeah. Whew. I was like, where are all my notes?
Yeah. So at age 5, he killed a man. He skipped over that.
Skipped to third. What is this, the Bible? It goes from age 4 to 33. So they saw him. They saw his enthusiasm, his stick-to-itiveness.
Uh-huh.
And
I love stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't that good?
great.
Word?
It's
Yeah.
such a good word.
Not a quitter.
And they pressed him to be an important member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and so they even they sponsored his education after he was the printer's devil. He became an apprentice there, and like I said, editor, proofreader, and then they sponsored him to actually go to medical school.
Wow.
And because the Seventh-day Adventists, they wanted to wriggle their little fingers into the
society.
health establishment.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And so they first
Were their fingers clean?
spotless.
Yeah.
Licked clean.
They sent him first to New Jersey to study at the Hygiotherapeutic College, and later at the University of Michigan. And he would later get his MD from Bellevue in New York.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And he wanted to prevent illness as opposed to treat it, which was very progressive for the time.
Very.
It's still progressive right now.
It still is. It's still not what they're pushing.
Yes, exactly. And so he, after receiving his medical degree in 1876, he returned to Michigan and was asked by the White family to run the Western Health Reform Institute, which would later come to be known as the Battle Creek Sanitarium after he took it over.
Okay.
And he coined the term sanitarium, basically a term suggesting both hospital care and the importance of sanitation.
Yes.
In personal
sanitary.
health. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Cleanliness.
Yes. Cleanliness next to godliness. And he really was into the cleanliness stuff.
Tidy up.
And so he
learned when he was
also,
young.
as he put it, he took the word sanatorium, which was back then defined as a health resort for invalid soldiers, He changed a couple letters, and now it's a sanitarium, and it was added to the English language.
That's crazy.
The patient.
I would know the word sanitarium far more than sanatorium. And I remember thinking that it was probably just the same thing but changed.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But he coined the word sanitarium because, he was very good at what he did.
Right.
What he did was oftentimes not very good.
No, he's the best he is at what he does. And what he does is not very nice.
He's the Wolverine of wellness. He published a cookbook on healthy eating, wrote a book on the importance of vegetarianism, and became the editor of a monthly Adventist newsletter called Good Health. He would publish that, I think, until the day he died.
Wow.
Along with his brother Will Keith, a.k.a. W.K. Kellogg,
Good change.
Battle Creek Sanitarium became America's most popular medical spa, growing from a health reform institute into a medical center, spa, and hotel. The number of patients grew from 106 in 1866 before he took to later 7,006
Holy shit.
7,006 patrons a few years later. At its height, the Battle Creek Sanitarium saw between 12 and 15,000 new patients a year.
Holy shit. So that's huge for the town.
Okay, so what are they going there for?
So people like John Rockefeller, J.C. Penney, heard of him?
Oh my God, I didn't know that was a real guy.
Yeah, middle name Cash. William
Johnny
Taft,
Cash?
C.W. Post, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Warren G. Harding, Booker T. Washington,
Right.
Sojourner Truth, Amelia Earhart, all would be visitors to the Battle Creek Sanitarium.
It's the hottest thing.
So what's going on there?
What isn't going on there, John?
Okay.
So let me describe it to you.
That's what I need.
Do you mind if
I got to do it.
The place was fucking huge.
Yeah. Good start. Big.
Yeah, start
Big.
big. Let's get work your way to small.
After a fire, a fire burned it down in 1902 and they rebuilt it, but it was big before and it was big after.
Mm-hmm.
It had a 15-story tower with 1,200 bedrooms.
Jesus.
15
fuck.
stories.
Yes, hundreds of baths. A lobby the size of a football field.
Whoa.
It had palm trees inside adorning that lobby.
Holy shit.
5 acres of marble floors, its own power plants. It was the most popular train stop on the Michigan Central between Chicago and Detroit.
I bet it was. Yeah.
Wow.
So what were people going there for? People were going there to get well, to be well,
Yeah.
to take a load off.
Right. It was like a rest place.
Yes, rest, relaxation, to take part in what he coined biologic living. And so, this is in a period of time, late, the post-war period, really in its peak until the
You're saying post-Civil War.
Yes, post-Civil War, up until the 20s was its real peak. And so there was a lot of money being thrown around. So it was a lot of rich people spending their money to feel good about themselves.
Right.
And
because this is also, like you said, like the time of the Rockefellers,
the robber barons,
a lot of oil expansion.
Exactly. So there's this Gilded Age.
Yeah.
Turn of the century into the Gilded Age, and people are also there's a bit of a medical revolution.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of a less perverted version of like the billionaire that's using his son's blood to try to live forever.
No, it's more perverted, and we'll get.
Oh,
to
okay,
that.
Cool. Neat.
Johnny Weissmuller from the old Tarzan MGM movies. He would do his Tarzan yell just before the meal started. And they used his body as a
as a thing to bleed.
No, as the model human physique.
Oh yeah.
So what did people go there for? Well, a lot of enemas.
Cool.
A lot of enemas, John. In a room called no joke, the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Oh God.
It was a room filled with enema machines.
Jesus.
Now he had basically
scored him up.
Part of his bio what do I call it, a biological living movement. Part of it was vegetarianism. Other thing
I was gonna say the diet would have to be.
The diet was huge,
and it was all approved by him.
every patient had a custom diet
Oh, wow.
approved by him. He greeted every patient who came in at the train station, which was like right by.
That's nuts.
He greeted every patient with the cockatoo on his shoulder, wearing all white head to toe.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
The cockatoo.
Oh yeah. So he believed in something called autotoxicity, I believe is what it's called. Basically, that a lot of human maladies come from buildup of shit and bad rotting flesh or rotting food inside of your body.
Right.
And so, being squeaky clean inside and out, Joe K would talk about power washing your insides.
Yeah.
This guy loved it.
Yeah.
In the Sanctum Sanctorum, like I said, he had a room filled with enema machines. And he had the aim of having his patients have 4 bowel movements a day. He came to that number by observing apes. He watched the apes. They took 4 shits. What goes in comes out. All right. Writing that down. 4 bowel movements a day.
4 a day.
Yeah. This guy really likes to watch monkeys and do stuff and then call them stupid. Yeah. Even though he's taking notes from them.
Ah, yes. Good shit, idiot.
Yeah.
Now, if you weren't having
Very healthy.
if you weren't having your recommended number of shits per day,
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Beatings.
it'd start with the 15-quart enemas.
15 quarts.
Yeah, as opposed to the usual pint or 2.
And he came to that by testing it on monkeys?
Himself.
Oh, himself.
Started every day himself with an enema, at least one. So if the
You thought Folgers was gonna wake you
15-quart enemas didn't work, he prescribed yogurt. You like
Yogurt.
Yes.
Yogurt.
Wait, you get to eat the yogurt?
You get to eat the
Oh,
yogurt,
thank God.
but also guess what? You get to have the yogurt enema as well.
Oh.
You're right up there.
Like a pincer movement.
Yeah.
The pincer movement of probiotics.
Yeah, it's a pincer movement of probiotics targeting
pincer.
the digestive system.
Vanilla, both ways.
Now, he was ahead of his time. He studied with, I think at the Pasteur Institute, he studied acidophilus bacteria. He noted...
What is it?
Acidophilus is the bacteria in most yogurt.
Oh, okay.
It's the probiotic bacteria. And he noted that people who had high populations of it in their guts had less instances of constipation, colitis, etc., so on.
Okay.
And he was doing this before anybody in the United States was.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just decided, hey, why not bypass the mouth route and go straight up the butt with this nice yogurt?
Yeah, it's a two-way yo play.
Nice.
Couldn't think of anything with Activia.
Rectivia?
Giovanni.
I fuck with Giovanni.
A two-way faye. Really putting the Greek in Greek yogurt.
Oh, yeah, I was getting there. I was just arriving at that train station.
Ding, ding, ding.
Greek yogurt?
He also pioneered light therapy. The electric light bulb was fairly new, and he was an early adopter of a lot of these new technologies. So he would.
So they probably had a lot of electricity in that place.
He had its own power station.
Yeah.
There was a lot of electricity in that place. It wouldn't be just used for light bulb therapy.
Here we go.
He would sit you in this little cabinet full of light bulbs and mirrors.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And you just get,
Blast it with light.
Blast it with light. Like Trump tells you to. He claimed it would cure, this light bath could cure anything from cramps to syphilis.
Where do you think that comes from?
Well, it's also not entirely unfounded. People who have seasonal affective disorder.
Sure. Oh, in Michigan, it would be very big.
Exactly.
My Michigan friends do get seasonal affective disorder.
Exactly.
Quite
it
heavily.
gets gloomy, it gets dark, and light. They make sunlight lamps for people to stimulate serotonin production and vitamin D production.
Right.
Whether or not these light bulbs he was using were of the correct strength and spectrum, I don't know. And it certainly wasn't curing syphilis. But he did see some correlation between outdoor living and sunlight and light in general as being beneficial.
Yeah.
At some of the he would make all the men when they would come to do exercise, which is something he also prescribed before anybody else considered it worthy of noteworthy for health.
Right. Run for fun.
They're basically wearing diapers
Yeah.
outside to maximize the amount of sun that they were getting.
I feel like the Mr. Burns workout regimen when Homer gets fat with the one hi-ya comes from here. Because rich guy, going to this place, doing exercise.
Sleep. So now, like I said, light therapy is used for depression. He also did something called sinusoidal current therapy, which was a machine he made from himself with telephone wire. He sometimes attach electrodes to your skin and zap you with a little bit of juice there.
Now we're getting into the Om Shinrikyo stuff.
Or even straight up into the fucking eyeballs.
Oh, God. Dude, how the fuck did that go right?
You got to trust them.
You know, this place...
They're just trying shit out, man.
They're just trying shit out, and people are like, "Oh, electricity?
Mm-hmm.
Try it. You know, try it out."
Have you had your daily electricity?
But now today we do have transdermal or transcranial electrical stimulation for Parkinson's and depression.
Yeah, electroshock therapy did undergo, some kind of.
It had a lot of growing pains.
And it did have it needed to have a hard PR to come back. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because they were like, this actually does have some benefits, but it is associated with torture.
It is. And also, people use, you've got the medical, what do you call it? The muscular stimulation with electrical, the TENS pads, those things. Yep. So people, there is benefit to it. But he was, this was the Wild West of this kind of, high-tech wellness and medicine. He recognized the importance of fresh air. He would have rooms with fresh air pumped in directly onto patients' faces. He had people stand in static electricity cages for some reason.
That just sounds like a real wake up.
A lot of it was to stimulate the bowels.
Oh, really?
A lot. I mean, he was obsessed with
Get that
shit out of you, having a squeaky clean digestive system.
Was there anything about pooping too much?
Diarrhea. Yeah, you don't want to have diarrhea.
Yeah. What if someone poops 6 times a day? Is he like, we got
we got to keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But A for effort. He had the mechanotherapy department at the what would be known as the SAN, the sanitarium. The phrase was taking the cure at the SAN. That is the phrase.
That's good copy.
That people use.
Going to the SAN to have the cure.
He had countless contraptions for exercise, quotes.
Those machines that shake you?
He invented that. Those belt massager things.
Oh, yeah?
He invented that.
Man, that's fucking hanging in there, too.
That'd make it shit.
Calvin Coolidge had one of the doctor's mechanical horses in the White House.
I'm sorry, you had a mechanical horse?
Yeah.
That's called a Sibian, Aaron.
That's in my notes right here. So, he had a vibrating chair. Well, he noticed that people who rode horses were rarely constipated. And so...
all the beans, too.
And so he invented...
That, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Shake it up.
Yeah, shake that shit up.
Yeah.
He's making good neck.
He had a...
but it's probably also all of you tensing your leg muscles all the time and stuff too.
Yeah, that was also something that he pioneered too. Is he talked about the dangers of sitting.
Right.
He talked about the dangers of tobacco before anybody else. He wrote a book called Tobaccoism, and it was about...
I gotta say, so far, all of this is pretty good.
Well,
for its time.
It's
pretty good. Not the eyeballs.
The
fucking eyeballs.
He invented
electricity. No.
He had the electric horse, like I said, barrel-shaped stationary device equipped with a saddle to stimulate horseback riding.
The president's on his morning horseback ride.
The vibrating poop chair, poops in quotes. I don't think that's an editorial decision to put that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the point is to make you poop.
Yeah, he designed an electric vibrating chair that shook 60 times a second, which basically it made you shit yourself immediately.
Oh my God.
I know people would pay good money.
Yeah, well, they also pay good money for the belly puncher. Designed to counteract excess belly fat, he created what he termed the percussion machine.
Because boxers are always skinny.
Yeah, a device consisting of 2 arms wrapped in leather that pummel the patient's stomach like boxing gloves to dislodge fatty tissue and also shit.
Yeah, of course. Get the shit out of you.
And then
did he have a scare regimen?
Fucking chimp jumps out and steals your banana. And then he had the ultimate enema machine. And this one apparently pumped in and sucked out an astounding 25 gallons of a liquid
pumped in and
minute.
sucked out
You gotta suck
per
pump it.
minute?
Yeah, that could be water,
A real
mineral oil, or yogurt.
Dude, that should have killed somebody.
At some point, I'm sure somebody does.
25,
Yeah.
like, wouldn't you be like drown in reverse or something?
I think you know.
Doesn't it just flood your lungs eventually?
My ass can't breathe.
Yeah.
It had 46 different kinds of baths.
Cool.
There was one where there was the continuous bath where you would remain in a bath for hours, days, or even weeks to cure everything from skin diseases and hysteria to mania.
Wow.
Some baths were electrified.
Oh,
about
for
that?
the love of God.
Water, electricity together?
Yeah.
At last.
You better start shitting yourself, dude.
You're guaranteed to shit if you die in this bath.
Yeah, things are taking a turn here. I just spoke up for this guy.
Yeah, you did. You're going to really not regret that. So his biologic living was really targeting, which was a big problem of the day for the American patient, or the American citizen, was the generic term dyspepsia. Everybody had a heartburn. Everybody had upset stomach.
Yeah, they were eating
ulcers.
shit.
They were eating. The diet was bad, and men especially were drinking a lot. They were smoking a lot, chewing tobacco a lot, not drinking good water, or if at all.
Right. So all of that would be forbidden at the Sand.
Correct.
Yeah. So that'd be part of going too. Is that it was just a place for you to clean up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whether or not you continued with that later on,
But you would feel the benefits of it while you were there.
you gotta feel better just cutting that shit out and drinking water.
And he is right too. Meat does slow down in your digestive system, and it does take a while to move along. So it does make sense why he would be pushing fucking high fiber.
Yeah, he was obsessed with fiber, and he started injecting part of the biologic living. He started injecting some of the stuff from his upbringing. So he promoted sexual abstinence, and this was encouraged through a bland diet. So the food at the Sand was very, very bland. He encouraged whole grain, plant-based diet.
You'll dull the senses.
And believed that most ailments could be cured through diet alone, and maybe some exercise.
It's a very funny correlation.
Oh, I mean,
To be like, ooh, this is good.
But everything
Oh my God,
he's doing
I want
is a
to come.
correlation.
yeah, he talked about sexually aggressive foods. Cut
up the carrots.
There's some cross section here with the graham cracker, and I believe Stanley Graham was the guy's name who.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a bland food.
That was a purposely bland food.
And later they
People-
frosted them.
Oh, dude, the foods that these guys created are so bastardized now they'd be rolling on their graves.
I know.
They'd be shitting in their grave.
Part of the menu at the Sand. Here we go. We got creamed cauliflower, celery,
Okay.
radishes, yogurt cheese, stewed raisins, banana.
Dude, what?
How about some good health biscuits?
Oh, I'm
Like
getting tired of these bad
You
health.
like the good health biscuits?
I wonder what's in that.
Good health.
Well, he was
Yes,
a ton of fiber. He was a big fan of this a German biscuit called Zwieback, which just means biscuit,
Yeah.
which means twice baked, and they were these very hard, high fiber biscuits that were very hard to eat, but were full of fiber.
Yeah.
and
Well, there is a lot of that in Europe too.
Yeah.
A lot of muesli
Mhm.
going down.
That was kind of the what would you call the prototype?
Springboard, yeah.
Yeah. So like you said about these people who'd they'd go take the cure at the Sand to kind of clean out, clear up. Some genius down the road of the Sand opened up the Red Onion Tavern where they served porterhouse steak and whiskey to people who would sneak out, eat that, and then come back to the Sand before curfew.
And they come back all hard too.
They come up all horny.
Yeah. The fucking cock covered in lipstick.
Oh God, what?
And they're wearing lipstick.
Yeah.
Holy guys.
I'm so flexible after a week here.
Yeah, I sat in that chair. Now I can suck my own dick.
He came up with a lot of vegetarian like fake meats. He invented peanut butter. It wasn't George Washington Carver apparently. He had the patent for peanut butter but never enforced it at all.
Huh.
Various nut butters. He was an early proponent of soy and soy milk, and various ways that whole grains could be incorporated into meals. And so let's see what I'm just looking at. Trying to find these double page notes here, madam. I apologize.
No, it's my fault. That's why I never print mine double-sided.
You didn't think about that for me though.
He's lost.
I didn't know you
He's
didn't have a
lost in the
printer
sauce.
here.
So, like I said, he was a big fan of the Zweibeck biscuits.
Yeah, tasty.
And he was obsessed with eliminating bowels from the toxins, and the bland diet being really no salt, no sugar, no pepper, no coffee, no tea. I mean, water and the most bland food possible to keep you quote unquote healthy in mind, body, and spirit.
Right.
Now, also, we have to say too, we're a couple of fellas with Crohn's boys in our family, and another friend of mine has it, and that was the thing they told you, like they're like immediately like to stop having the
Flare-ups,
colitis like symptoms, go to a bland diet, the blandest diet you can imagine, and then add things on and see what you can handle.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
there's still
the brat
is-
diet. Banana, rice, applesauce, something else.
Turmeric.
Yeah, turmeric. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Fentanyl.
The barf diet?
The barf diet.
The graham cracker was inspired by the preaching of Sylvester Graham.
Oh, Sylvester.
Sylvester. He was part of the 19th century temperance movement, and he thought that minimizing pleasure and stimulation of all kinds would discourage masturbation. And
maybe for him, pal.
And so this was Kellogg latched onto that a bit. So food, enemas, exercise, good stuff, right?
Yeah.
One day, an elderly patient broke her false teeth on one of these hard biscuits that he's making, and she threatened to sue him.
Uh-oh.
So him and his brother WK start thinking of we got to come up with some alternatives to shove this fiber down these people's gullet, that's not going to break their teeth and break our bank. And so they're coming up with all these different wheat pastes.
Yeah.
And
I was thinking like a smoothie or something.
Yeah. And so one night, I guess the story goes that his brother WK, who was running the day-to-day operations of the books and the chemistry kitchen, he left out some
fucking mad scientist.
He left out some of this paste overnight and it fermented a little bit and dried out, and he found that when he rolled it out in a press, it flaked up.
Yeah.
And his patients liked the new food. He eventually replaced wheat with cheaper and tastier corn.
Ooh.
And within a year, they started selling 100,000 pounds of this stuff.
Whoa.
They started focusing their production on these whole grain cereals, and it revolutionized breakfast.
Sure.
Period.
Yeah.
Now, John Harvey Kellogg insisted that he only sells this at the sanitarium. He's not interested in money. He's wealthy enough from his publishing and his lectures and his pamphlets and everything.
Yeah.
And the SAN itself.
Yeah.
He's not interested in making money off of selling these cereals. C.W. Post was one of the guys who visited at the SAN.
Yes, you said that earlier.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, what do you got going here?" And he goes, this is just to start fucking."
Yeah, it's just a total revolution of breakfast. Anyway, dude, let's go shove.
You can check it out.
Yeah, let's go shove some shit up your ass, though.
Let's get the shit out.
Yeah.
Shove this yogurt.
Figured out how to fit one of those giant crackers up your ass.
So he lets.
You're having a little bit of a different breakfast, buddy.
Make it and take it.
So he just lets him poke around, take notes, do whatever.
Fuck, I care. Go ahead.
So Post would go on to create Postum, which was a cereal-based coffee alternative.
Postum.
And Grape Nuts. And
Grape Nuts is good.
it is said that nobody made more money in a shorter amount of time than C.W. Post did.
Wow.
Really?
He became a fucking millionaire almost immediately by selling Grape Nut cereal, because pouring breakfast out of a box.
Yeah, man. It was
Most people's breakfast was the meat from last night and potatoes fried in the congealed fat from last night's food.
Right. You would have an egg guy.
An egg, if you get it, but if you could
if you can get it.
Grains were, it would, to make porridge, it took all day.
Yeah.
There wasn't, instant oatmeal.
Right.
Eggs and bacon wasn't as popular yet, and really, most people couldn't afford bacon.
Yeah.
But if you need an egg guy, you get an egg guy.
Yeah.
But for mom in these new cities where it's not you don't have your own chickens or whatever, if mom had just made dinner a few hours before at night, can now just open up a box, pour it down. Even dad could make breakfast.
Yes.
Is what this was.
Right. Yeah. Game changer.
Yeah, it really is.
And then it's always in the house if the kids are hungry. You just have it.
You can have breakfast anytime.
Yeah.
When breakfast is in a box, you can have breakfast anytime.
Mm-hmm. It's true, man. They did
Uh,
have a milk guy. Milk is a key component.
You gotta get the milk,
Mhm.
and if it's soy milk, you'll like it even more.
Yeah, and the milkman might fuck your wife.
So,
Because I can't.
you know who wasn't fucking his wife?
Tell me.
John Harvey Kellogg.
No.
He married an assistant from the San, Ella Eaton, on February 22nd, 1879. They maintained separate bedrooms and did not have any biological children. During their honeymoon, he wrote a book, and he bragged about never consummating the marriage.
He bragged.
Ever.
Did she brag about
Oh my
it?
God, he never fucked his wife?
Never fucked his wife. He died a virgin.
Gooner!
He's fucking one of 17 children. He never fucked his wife.
Well, I think he learned his lesson from all those siblings.
See, he was obsessed with getting the shit out and keeping the cum in.
Yeah.
And you got to do that with bad food.
I like half of that.
Bland-ass food.
He must have been nutting sometime.
Well, maybe in those chairs. He was like, "Is this an enema for my dick?"
I think as I research more and more into this, it's hard for me not to believe that he was not getting some kind of sexual gratification out of giving himself enemas, giving people enemas, electrifying people, vibrating people, and then we'll get to even more later.
Oh, he invented the octopussy.
He called masturbation the solitary vice. He said that the masturbator would very literally die by their own hand.
Cool.
He wrote that masturbation caused, quote, general disability, consumption-like symptoms, premature and defective development, sudden changes in disposition, lassitude, sleeplessness, failure of mental capacity, fickleness, untrustworthiness, love of solitude, bashfulness, unnatural boldness,
and
mock piety, being easily frightened.
Mock piety!
Because they're going, "Oh God, oh God."
Confusion of ideas, aversion to girls and boys, but a decided liking of boys and girls. Round shoulders, weak back, stiffness of joints, paralysis of the lower extremities, an unnatural gait, bad posture in bed, lack of breast development in females, capricious appetite, fondness for unnatural or hurtful or articles such as salt, spices, pepper, vinegar, mustard, clay, slate, pencils, plaster, and chalk. Disgust at simple food, use of tobacco, unnatural paleness, acne or pimples, biting of fingernails, shifty eyes, moist, cold hands, palpitation of the heart, hysteria in females, chlorosis, anemia, epileptic fits, bedwetting, and use of obscene words and phrases.
God damn it.
All caused by masturbation.
Most of those are true.
And cool.
That's true.
That's true. So,
they're numbered at least, right?
he had some interesting ways to deal with this. If the bland diet, the enemas, the yogurt enemas, cornflakes.
Yogurt, not brogurt.
No.
Well,
exactly.
after it's done.
He doesn't want you brewing up any brogurt.
So,
Definitely not.
There's
spelling
a
it.
banner hanging in the football-sized field.
Do you think this guy would be into edging?
no.
No?
No, you cannot, he doesn't even want you touching down there.
No?
No, and I guess, I'll skip ahead just...
Can you smack it on the table a little bit?
Can you
no.
bonk? Can you bop it?
No. Yeah, I think, so one of his biographers, I want to say it's Markle, he postulated that when John was in medical school at Bellevue in 1874, he saw and treated a great amount of playboys and cads.
Yeah.
Oh, they'd be like having syphilis and shit.
And gonorrhea, and he wrote about it in his student notes. And when these cases are in full throes of infection, it's not pretty.
Yeah,
No.
brutal.
Especially syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and this is before the age of antibiotics.
And in Bellevue too, like he's fucking like getting like straight sailors off the dock.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they go port to port.
They do.
And these could kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, syphilis.
Insanity,
Yes.
like fuck you, dude. It's nuts.
Yeah, so a lot of the symptoms he's describing for masturbation could apply to those diseases. Or things he saw in people.
No, what I'm getting at is that he had he saw that
His
these men
fear.
were sick, and,
Yeah.
and because there were no cures at the time, they were giving it to their wives.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And they're contagious, and so he I think started to abhor, the
saw-
perils of sex.
Yeah, he saw a plague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to break boys of the habit of masturbation,
Ooh, this should be interesting.
That's why we're here.
sometimes he would, the procedures would range from ridiculous to barbaric.
Hand breaking.
Tying their hands.
Yeah.
Or bandaging the offending organ.
That's
Or,
not-
hey, put a cage on it.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh.
Electrify it.
Yeah.
Electrify the fucking
And
kid.
your partner is the only one who can unlock it.
In his book, Plain Facts About Sexual Life, Dr. Kellogg writes, a remedy which is almost always successful in small boys is circumcision. The operation should be performed by a surgeon without administering an anesthetic, as the brief pain attending the operation will have a salutary effect upon the mind, especially if it be connected with the idea of punishment, as it may well be in some cases.
Damn.
Make him scared of his dick forever.
Yeah. Circumcising young boys without anesthetic.
Yeah.
In fact, the part of the reason circumcision in the United States took off was for this reason. Because if you look at a map of the world and circumcision rates, it's Israel and the United States pretty much as like the highest.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah, other countries not so much. Barbarians.
What'd you say?
Huh?
Huh?
No.
What'd you?
He encouraged parents to tie their children's hands to their bedposts. And one aggressive tactic, saw the foreskin of a young man's penis sewed shut to prevent erections.
Ah!
Oh my god.
That'd prevent all kinds of stuff.
For
And
young
also cause
girls,
stuff.
for young girls, it
No,
was
no,
even worse.
No.
It's exactly where you think it's.
Really?
Yeah. Aside from trying to catch children in the act masturbating, he advocated for, with young girls, there was applying carbolic acid to the clitoris,
God damn it.
or straight up clitorectomy or labiectomy.
He's recommending this?
Yes.
So like in like journals?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And he would stick to these guns well after. I mean, there were doctors of the time who were like, "What? No, what
Yeah.
the fuck? No."
Yeah.
If you were doing this to boys, people would be outraged. but-
Yeah.
Because he was doing it to young girls.
God damn it.
So yeah, it was to desensitize. Yeah. Really bad stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't like this part.
No, so let's go back to the cereal.
Yeah. The food. The food
Yeah.
sucks. Yeah.
Let's check in on Tony the Tiger.
Yeah. So
They're fine.
so he's not fucking.
Mm. His wife's not.
Yeah.
Is she? Maybe. That'd
She might
cool.
be.
She's in that vibrating chair.
They were foster parents to 42 children.
I'm sorry. Say again.
He fostered 42 children.
Oh my god.
Legally adopted 8 of them.
That could be good, but based on his history with children, I do.
We'll get to that.
and
good.
they have to all live at the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, Charles. So we'll get to the. We got back to the. Let's go back to the cereal. Let's
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
the
yeah,
Female
yeah,
genital
yeah.
mutilation and male genital mutilation aside. So John Harvey didn't care that Post was snooping around. It's like, oh, do whatever you want. And then he saw that Postum and Grape Nuts took off, and he's like, what the fuck? This guy's making a fortune off of my shit. And they started to have this bit of a rivalry. W.K. Kellogg was like chomping at the bit. He's the younger brother by like 8 years, and John Harvey was kind of a shit to him. Like he'd make him run next to him while John Harvey was on his bike dictating, and he'd make his younger brother take notes while he's running.
Holy
he's
shit.
on the bike. He'd make him come into the bathroom while he's taking his shit and to keep
This is
dictating.
John and WK?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
So
And WK made cornflakes.
WK made cornflakes.
Yeah.
He's like, and he's trying to get him to say, like, we need to market this. Like,
Well, in terms of if you really want to fulfill this vision, there is nothing better than mass marketing a thing that is going to put John Kellogg's mind at ease that everybody's shit is getting out of them easier.
and they're not jacking off.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And WK agreed with you as well. So they had this rivalry. Post showed up one time to the Sin in an all black suit, head to toe.
Did he have a pet monkey on his shoulder?
He blew cigar smoke in Kellogg's face and called him a dog.
Who did?
Post.
Oh my God! Call him a dog?
And then Kellogg replied, "You know what dogs do to posts, don't you?" Which is pretty funny.
Yeah, that is
funny.
good. That
He's
is
talking
good.
about piss.
Yeah,
So
and hump.
yeah, so the cereal wars have begun.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
You
there
know,
you go.
Post is making a mint. In Battle Creek, it became a cereal boomtown.
Mm-hmm.
In 1912, there were 100 cereal companies in Battle Creek,
Jesus
Michigan.
Christ.
It just popped. Everyone was fucking making cereal. Corn, wheat, barley, the nuts of grapes, celery.
It's so funny that it's like most of the things that are in beer.
Yeah.
How come there was never beer flakes?
You
Huh?
just pour beer on your cornflakes.
No, that's true.
Yeah. What do they call them? Not Wheaties. Oh God, there was a thing in college we used to do.
I believe it was
Beerios.
Oh, Beerios.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I was gonna say kiss each other, but
Well, after enough bowls of Beerios,
okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Get stung
So-
by the bee.
everyone was making money off cereal except the Kellogg's. Still refused to sell commercially. WK was getting pissed, getting ready to go out on his own. Fire burned the place to the ground. He decides to stick around a little longer, then rebuild. And then in 1906, when John Harvey was away on one of his lecture tours or something, WK Kellogg added sugar to the flakes and started selling them.
Genius.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that little fucking
a little
rascal.
sugar, a little salt. Starts selling them. His brother finds out. He's super pissed. But secretly, John Harvey had been. WK Will Keith had been.
Masturbating.
Well, of course he'd been
Yes,
masturbating.
he'd definitely been
Just
masturbating.
putting sugar in his cereal
Yeah.
and coming all over the place.
Yeah.
So John Harvey Kellogg was very cheap, rich guy,
Yeah, I
and
totally
he
see that.
convinced his employees to take stock instead of salary. But after WK started like showing that like sugar cornflakes like could make money, he got some financing and started slowly buying up all the shares from the employees, and he got a controlling stake in the company.
WK did.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
All right, I like this guy.
So he
comes-
by 1906. He controlled the company. Then he also went independent, founded the Battle Creek Toasted Cornflake Company,
Damn.
and he made a mint off of Kellogg's cornflakes.
Yeah, and because he knew how the business ran
Oh, he was
financially.
Yeah, he knew he ran the business.
Yeah.
John Harvey at that point was just the doctor.
Yeah,
WK was the guy calling all the shots.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. He's like, I'm making so much money now, I'm starting to think that jerking off ain't that bad.
say.
is this what rich guys do?
Little sugar in there too, though, man.
just
I
the-
mean, that's like,
Cornflake, it's not Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
It's just the tiniest amount
Yeah.
A little bit.
of sugar. Grape nuts, the name comes from the fact that they use like grape molasses to
sweeten.
slightly sweeten and congeal the wheat nuggets.
yeah,
Um,
fucking crazy.
so he's John Harvey. I'm sorry, WK.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he takes out a fucking thing in Times Square. It's one of like the first big billboards in Times Square. John Harvey starts to try selling his Kellogg's cornflakes,
Fucking idiot.
and
Oh, but they suck.
yeah, they suck. Nobody wants them.
Yeah.
And then they go to court. They go to like the Michigan Supreme Court over the battle of the name Kellogg's.
Yeah.
And WK wins. He makes he puts his signature on the box. So that Kellogg's
Really?
that's WK Kellogg's signature. So WK sued John Harvey because he said that another Kellogg named product that was not nearly as tasty as mine would harm my company, and he was right. They sued each other, and then WK won.
Damn.
It was a lawsuit that went on for 10 years. Let's go back to the stuff with kids, huh?
Wait, let's take a little break.
Take a
first.
quick little Let's take a quick little break. All right, folks, we'll be right back. And we're back.
All right.
Oh boy.
So we've talked about the enemas.
Yeah.
We've talked about the genital mutilation in the name of anti-masturbation and abstinence.
Yes.
We talked a little bit about the cereal wars.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Kellogg's now a household name. Now, aside from being a doctor, an author, a speaker, a gifted surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
Surgeon Virgin.
He performed 22,000 surgeries over his career.
Wow.
A bit of a philanthropist. He opened schools. Many of them took place at the Battle Creek Sanitarium because they had so much space. He opened schools in home economics and physical education. Aside from issuing warning on the dangers of smoking and drinking, being an early advocate for probiotics, sterile medical rooms.
Yes.
He was also a staunch eugenicist.
Oh,
I'm not surprised.
Did you know that, John?
I didn't know that.
Remember this guy you were really speaking up for?
Yeah.
Staunch.
Damn it.
Most of the 40 kids that he and his wife fostered were deemed undesirables.
Oh.
And so he,
No. Oh.
in a way, he was kind of using these kids to determine the effective environment on behavior of these genetically inferior kids.
Oh boy.
Now, granted, they had a better life than they would have had.
Sure.
Yes.
But you got some dustings of Georgia tan here.
Yes. But it's a little bit more sinister because it's viewing them as test subjects.
Yeah, I mean, I think the nail in the coffin here for him was one child that he fostered, George, who was the son of a prostitute. He found eating out of garbage cans.
Well, gotta eat something.
Now, despite his best efforts with diet and enemas and behavior modification, let's call it,
Tying the
George
hands.
couldn't even learn to hang his clothes up or really do anything correctly and became just a crippled alcoholic.
Oh boy.
And so John Harvey Kellogg determined that good healthy living could only do so much. Genetics had something to do with the what he determined to be plaguing the American population.
Finally a test on humans of nature versus nurture.
That's right. And something must be done about it.
Oh no.
In 1906, he co-founded the Race Betterment Foundation.
And that's a sporting club.
No, that's not what it is. But he did use the term racial thoroughbred. So I guess there's some crossover there. With those who were unfit should not be allowed to breed. Is basically what he was getting at. He was part of his biologic living. He did slip into some of his teachings at the SAN, where that he was against racial mixing.
Oh boy.
And that there should be a registry kept track of people's medical records so that racial thoroughbreds could be introduced to each other before marriages to really just kind of keep the stock nice and tight.
Tighten it up.
He had a lot of ideas, this guy.
He was in favor of forced sterilization of criminals, and he organized the first Race Betterment Conference, which was basically like a Comic-Con for eugenicists.
Yeah.
The least fun Comic-Con you could ever be at.
This sucks, dude.
Yeah.
The conference even hosted, and you'll love this, John, the Better Baby Contest.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Look at these babies.
Yeah.
Where white infants were judged, measured, and awarded on the basis of their breeding.
Oh God.
Check out this baby's head.
Oh my God.
Check out
Yeah.
this baby's wrists.
Yeah.
This is a good white baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody mark this baby down for breeding.
Somebody circumcised
This
this
guy
baby.
doesn't even fuck.
I know. Which is kind of like, I guess he heeded his own advice by keeping his stock out of the breeding pool.
Yeah.
But he was a man of contradiction because at the same time he rejected segregation at the sanitarium. He trained doctors and nurses of color and quote unquote of color.
Mm-hmm.
He had schools for the Chinese there, and
Well, is that it could kind of be like a white savior sort of thing.
absolutely. He
Well-
dressed in white.
Well,
Yeah.
His mentor was the whites. He was white.
I'm going to guess that he might have the attitude of, look, we're all here anyway,
Yeah,
and so to split us up is not going to be any good,
right,
because then like he doesn't have control over it,
right.
and so he can be like, all right, you're a Chinese guy, go for it,
Yeah.
just
If I clean you enough out from the inside, maybe you'll turn white.
Yeah, yeah.
the race betterment is
Yes.
an interesting thing too, because it makes it sound like other races can be improved.
I think it really was, I think, focusing on racial purity for whites.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much it was about, let's bring the others up with us. I think,
But I think let's not give him the credit of saying it's bring others up with us. But it could be a thing where he's saying, let's stamp
too,
out
yeah.
evil in every corner.
Sure. But also, with his genetic selection, he's still segregating with a genetic selection.
Oh yeah.
well,
No.
with no racial mixing, etc. But at the sanitarium, he treated black patients. He famously treated Sojourner Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, grafting some of his own skin onto hers to treat a leg ulcer. Which also can be seen as a white savior thing, like actually giving some white skin to her, hoping that it'll take.
Yeah. He's trying to do actual race betterment.
Yeah.
by like
Square inch by square inch.
Yeah. Yes. The ship to see the Theseus.
Yeah.
The skin of Theseus. Oh.
40 patches and an enema.
You can hardly say she's black at all now.
Booker T. Washington came to one of the conferences and gave a speech basically saying like, "Hey man, everybody's good." and Kellogg just went up after him and was like, "All right, well, squat. Let's not." Yeah,
Cockatoo rebuttal.
Cockatoo was white. He got more stage time than Booker T. So he's a real son of a bitch with the eugenics.
Yeah. Not a good guy.
He wrote a lot about masturbation and the enemas.
Yep.
There are some even more. There's some real bad stories about parents coming to him who were like kind of followers of his and that wanted them to treat their sons or daughters for what they considered excessive masturbation. There was one young girl who was a victim. She was 10 and basically was raped. And he writes about her father bringing her into the sand to treat her because he was worried she was masturbating, not treating her for like the emotional and physical trauma of sexual assault.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, what you got to do is like you got to try and catch her in the act. Like stand outside of her bedroom and like wait a few minutes after she goes to bed, and then jump in and scare her and pull the sheets off and make sure like her pussy's not wet.
Holy fuck.
So, not a great guy about that.
Treat the trauma with trauma.
Yeah, more trauma.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah. So there was scare tactics, Matt.
Yes.
There were scare tactics.
Are you scared? You want scare tactics?
So,
Good show.
the peak, like I said, was that late 1870s to right around the 1920s. Then the Depression hits, and less people have money to spend on these lavish health cure vacations. And even if they did have money, it was even less cool to show it off.
Right. So yeah. Also, I was gonna say in the time of like the early 1900s, that's when a lot of eugenics kind of laws and stuff were like passed.
Oh yeah, he had successfully lobbied.
He was like at the forefront of that.
He was at the state. Yeah. He was published. He lobbied for laws to get passed in the state of Michigan, and did. Some were repealed until 1975.
Yeah, a lot of sterilizations of
minority
women.
Yeah. Minority women, mentally handicapped people, criminals, or people that were deemed criminally insane who weren't, homosexuals, etc., so on and so forth, all from the serial guy. So the business took a bit of a hit. His brother, WK, when the Depression hit, he instituted 6-hour work shifts at his factory. So he would run his factory for 24 hours in 4 shifts, which allowed more people to stay employed.
Cool.
And more cereal to get out.
Yeah.
More of this delicious cornflakes cereal.
And, cheap breakfast at that time.
Exactly. People needed, they could not afford,
Plus, with a
food.
6-hour workday, you have more time in the day to enjoy being poor.
And masturbate.
Yeah.
Poor's not so bad if I'm jacking off.
Yeah.
So he
I'm all hyped up on these Kellogg.
the Seventh-day Adventist Church basically excommunicated him.
Holy shit.
He was running too many debts. He was talking about evolution.
WK or John?
John.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he had a lot of debts?
Yeah, he started going into debt because of the Depression.
Yeah.
He had to constrict the company, sell his assets. Let's see. In 1942, the main building was purchased by the U.S. Army and converted into the Percy Jones Army Hospital.
So all the canines. No,
So, then he tried to open a sanitarium in Miami, and he eventually faded into obscurity after being like basically the celebrity doctor in the country, Dr. Phil or Dr. Oz or Deepak Chopra. Like, he was the celebrity doctor. And then, his namesake stayed famous because of his brother's efforts in the cereal business. And he died in relative obscurity at the age of 91. Almost made it to 100.
Did he come?
Yeah.
No, he did not come.
Like
Neither did
after
his
he
wife.
died. They had one release after he died.
Just one last final nasty fact, if you wanted, about him.
His balls were huge.
Oh, no.
One of the treatments for male masturbation, if the circumcision wouldn't work, if the cock cage didn't work,
No.
there was the skillful catheterization and electrification of the urethra.
Oh!
And sometimes they throw water in there too.
Oh.
A nice electro-penis enema.
At least it was skillful.
If that doesn't make you come,
Yeah.
I don't know what will.
Yeah. Yeah. It should. It would seem to mobilize the sperm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A big thunderclap inside the cock shaft.
Bro, you got a mind collapse.
I can also see though, like a counterpoint to him is like John R. Brinkley going like, "No, I'll put goat balls in you,
You need more balls.
and you're gonna come a lot."
Yeah. You're gonna come sturdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
What about WK? What happened to WK?
Oh, made fucking millions, died rich.
Yeah.
Never had to run next to anybody on a bike.
Namesake associated with breakfast from here to Timbuktu.
Did you find? I mean, did you find anything more about their estrangement, or I mean?
No, their relationship was not good pretty much for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
I think on his deathbed, John Harvey wrote, he's my brother. I don't wish him that much ill will.
Yeah.
Let cereal be bygones, be cereal bygones.
Hope he's not touching his dick.
Now that would be too much.
Mm-hmm.
You can steal my cereal.
No. Do not clown around with that thing.
And Frosted Flakes was not.
I don't like it.
Frosted Flakes wasn't a joke.
Oh God.
Oh, how'd he frost them?
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fruit Loops. General Mills, nowhere to be seen.
No.
Still serving in the army, probably.
Yeah. In that hospital.
So did you Did you watch the Pop-Tart film?
I did not watch the Pop-Tart film.
That's what made you think.
But they know, like, the Jerry Seinfeld vehicle about Pop-Tarts did bring Kellogg back into my mind.
Oh, okay.
And it is why I did go back.
Because it's about the two companies, right?
Yes.
It's Post and
Not
Kellogg's, because Kellogg's was absorbed by one of them.
Yeah.
Was it CW Post?
Oh, Post is Post.
Does Post get Kellogg's cornflakes?
No. Kellogg's is still Kellogg's.
Okay.
Unless it's owned by General Mills now.
They're probably both owned by General Mills now.
Oh,
They own
subsidiary of
Fucking
Raytheon.
Hasbro.
Raytheon.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go.
And what about the sand? The sand just like faded away?
No, it was turned into an army hospital,
Mm.
and then it was turned into like another kind of army hospital, and then it was bought by the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
How about
Really?
his kids, his wards?
Oh God, nobody knows what happened to them.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he only adopted 8 of them.
Oh.
42 of them were fosters, and of those, he adopted 8.
I see.
But I don't know too much or anything at all about his children. I think once he realized he couldn't purify them,
Yeah.
he stopped giving a shit.
Yeah, then depression hits and he's like, kid, you better fucking pack a knapsack. 'Cause,
But what do you got in there, cereal?
yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good guy in some ways, but, in his time and for what he thought he was doing, he was. Like,
Yeah.
he really did want to make people live healthier, better lives, and he was on the forefront of he was just on the edge of good science.
Yeah.
And then...
And in a time of like everything is poison,
yeah,
he did live to 91.
he did.
But
And it's just... But then you get on your moral high horse,
yes.
vibrating or not,
Right.
and then you start moralizing your medicine,
Yeah.
and that's where it gets to be a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It kind of seems like he had these good ideas in the beginning, and then he's like, all my ideas are good.
Yeah.
And so he's like, now I've already figured out food. Let me talk cum and race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole reason I'm making this food for you is so that you're not nutting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's making grape nuts.
And there's a thing too about like, I mean, the thing that like kind of scares me is how much of like, now it's like wellness.
Mhm.
How much of it is still hunch based?
Absolutely.
Like the stuff with like colloidal silver and
Yeah.
stuff at the place I go
Yeah.
to every day. There's colloidal silver in like,
Yeah.
and it's like nobody ever said that's good.
Well, I mean, silver has antimicrobial properties.
Mm-hmm.
Taking it there's very scant evidence that supplementing with colloidal silver does anything,
Yeah.
but silver can be used as an antimicrobial agent in some ways, but I don't think internally.
Like if you like
Right.
a silver doorknob or something.
Yeah, right. Like I think brass is naturally antimicrobial. Part of the reason he had 5 acres of marble floors there was not just because it's tight and dope and opulent, but it leaves no room for vermin or germs.
Yeah,
is what
yeah,
he was
yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was absolutely obsessed with the cleanliness and like
Insects.
I said,
Yeah,
and
totally.
the sterility of the medical room. So, like I said, he was on the forefront of a lot of good stuff. But what you said is that a lot of this wellness stuff, it veers off course with like the hearsay and the morality.
Yeah.
And being, it thrives on being just off center.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
everybody wants to have the secret,
Yes.
the wellness.
Yes,
And so it's
yes,
what they
yeah.
don't want you to, one of these big, infomercial books back in the day was secret natural cures they don't want you to know about.
Right.
You remember that?
Conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
Where, like that's why conspiracies are so big with people because you feel like you're the one who knows something people don't.
Right. And so there is this, I think, I don't know if it was the case with Kellogg, but that wellness vibe has permeated now to like
Yeah.
moms on Facebook,
Mhm.
preppers,
Yeah.
conspiracy
But
theorists.
there's a thing there too where like it exists because there is this other side of it too where like I had a physical recently, and I went, and I was trying to talk to my doctor basically about like how I'm living, and like she just wanted to give me things for ailments.
Right, as opposed to addressing...
As opposed to adjusting, like, how I'm living and how I could change it and how it would, make me feel differently, which is something that I had to just explore on my own.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it is a thing where it's like, it is true that, complications, leading cause of death in the United States. That means
comorbidities, yeah.
That means going to the doctor or the hospital and them fucking up.
Yeah.
Your chances of dying do go up when you go into a hospital.
Yeah, that's where people go to die.
Yeah. But also they fuck up.
Yeah, they mistakes are made.
Yeah.
But
like handling stuff at root causes is not really part of the medical profession. They always want to sell you a drug.
Yes, they want to sell you a drug, but also it is kind of in the medical establishment's defense, and I'm not gonna 100% back like.
No. There's always sides to all this.
That they want to do the most amount of good for the most amount of people in the shortest amount of time.
Yes.
And the way to do that is, all right, you have this problem, take this. Because I know it's easier for you to take this
than to change your life.
Yeah. Right.
And that's not the doctor's job. That's your therapist's job, your police job, your wife's job, your husband's job. Your job is to do
your
that.
enema guy's job.
And so, the doctor gets to cash the check and sleep at night going, I did what I need. I gave this guy the pill for the thing.
Yeah.
He had the syphilis. I didn't put him in a light bath or electrify his penis.
Yeah.
I gave him the antibiotic, right?
Right.
So,
but it is a thing, too, where, like, I think everybody just feels like there's so much stuff in media that is not telling them about that shit.
Of course.
So they feel like, I don't know what to do. I live like this. Now I go to a doctor because I feel bad. And it's like, well, you're having a ton of sugar.
Yeah, you're eating a lot of sugar and you don't move.
Yeah, and you feel like shit.
You look at a screen all day.
Mm-hmm.
And, the doctor's job is not to get you to change. It's to make you feel better in that moment or for a short period of time.
Sure.
Thereafter. So, like, but it is real easy to see the flaws in the system and make a secondary path to it, But, also, like, dude, medicine is pretty fucking kick-ass.
Without question.
Yeah.
Modern, I mean...
No. And it does get better and better all the time, but, like, it is also kind of impressive that he did have a lot of things right.
Yes, he did. I mean, a lot of things right.
And not a thing you want to say about a eugenicist. but he
or genital mutilator.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a eugenicist, he made a lot of good points. And that's a soundbite I would not put on this soundboard.
Yeah, no, I think he had
you don't have to hand it to him.
I think he had some wise things, and then I think he got a little up his own ass. And it's also
ironically,
and it's also very easy to do that too when it's like the religious fervor behind it.
Yes, when you're surrounded by people who are paying to be there to hear you, when you're very closely tied in with your religion and its tenets. I mean, listen, Yorba Linda, California has a high life expectancy because there's a lot of Seventh-day Adventists there.
Sure, yeah.
And they have healthy lifestyles, and like their life expectancy is like notably higher than the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
So we could eat less meat, drink less booze, smoke less tobacco. I mean, masturbate more.
Probably, yeah.
A lot of young men are getting the prostate cancer when they shouldn't. It's good for the mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
He also had some interesting thoughts about sleep. Thought sleep should be uncomfortable. He thought dreaming was unnatural.
That is like just out of control.
It's just wrong.
Yeah,
this is where he moralized his medicine.
Yes,
injecting
exactly.
His own shit into it. Like, if there was any research being done, or if he had done any research on the benefits of masturbation, you'd see that it's good for your prostate.
Yes,
it's good for women in general. To familiarize themselves with their own bodies, to take sexual agency, to learn how to orgasm.
And sexual health and physical love is inherently good.
Yes,
it's inherently good. And you know, it's a thing about then empathy and stuff like that.
Yes.
You know, like
oxytocin release, bonding, stress relief.
Yeah.
But then, you know,
It's exercise.
he put himself in this fucking marble tower with this fucking, you know, cuck wife, you know,
Cockatoo.
and I think, you know, then he goes like, oh, well, I don't nut, so now my dreams are insane.
Right.
Because your body is
He's probably nutting in his
nutting in his sleep.
Yes.
And then he's going
Blaming it on the dream.
and he's going, now I don't like dreams.
Yeah.
And so I better lay across this base of this rooty tree so that my sleep sucks and my back is fucked.
Yeah.
and
Super. I mean, there's so much I left out about his writings that were just so bonkers
Yeah.
about, you know.
Because it becomes an obsession when you deny it that hard.
Yes, you're,
Yeah.
you're trying to convince yourself.
yeah, right.
Yeah, and then you're shaking people up and fucking jimmying the shit out of them and fucking squirting shit up their asses.
Dude.
And you're acting like everybody else is a pervert?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
You're watching monkey
That's
shit.
exactly. That's what I was talking about earlier. Is when I go, there's no way that it didn't become sexual for this guy.
Yeah.
No.
People are vibrating and
Yeah.
they're losing control.
Yeah.
I've seen that video.
Yeah, I have too.
Hi.
I have too.
Because he saw the monkeys shit 4 times, but didn't he see them jack off too? Because they jack off.
Oh yeah, they jack it right
Yeah, the
off.
monkey, they fucking throw their shit at people too.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, every day you have to start by taking a dump and then throwing it at somebody. The monkeys.
But
do it.
there are like, I mean, there's things, you know, where you just look at the survival of the race and what led us here, right? And you go like, there's just very basic components.
Yeah, fucking
Sex,
Mhm.
sleep. You know what I mean? I do think in regards to the vegetarian diet, he's more right than wrong.
And fiber, especially.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Tons of people
Yeah.
still don't eat enough fiber.
Yes,
And
100%.
dyspepsia is still, you know, that it's a blanket term that is kind of a catch-all, but it's still like the number 2 thing people go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Especially in this country, especially.
Yeah.
I think, you know, Pepcid is like the number 3 most highest prescribed drug.
Yeah.
Really?
Number 1, I think, are statins
Yeah.
for high cholesterol, which is diet related as well.
Yeah.
Number 2, I don't know, but then, you know, it's like antacids and then it's insulin. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
When your body is in rebellion, you have to look at what you're doing.
Yes.
To it.
So, and in that, he was right that
Yes.
good diet and lifestyle can fix so much about how bad you feel.
If only he had stopped there.
If only he had stopped there.
Yeah.
I could pull up the picture you sent, Aaron.
Oh, sure. Of the sanitarium, we could take a good look at that. It's a giant.
So that's the 15-story one, right?
Yeah.
Jesus,
That's
it's
fucking
huge.
The
That's
tower.
got to be the
massive.
biggest building in that city forever.
Yeah. In fact,
The Joseph Campbell thing, right?
yes. So I think when,
I also love an indoor wonder.
indoor gardens.
I love an indoor wonder.
This is another picture I found of it.
Yeah, that is.
The whole complex.
I think that's
probably-
that might be after the fire.
Okay, so that's a power plant in the back,
Yeah.
I imagine.
It
Smokestack.
needed its own power plant.
Yeah, he didn't know about the smokestacks.
They were downwind. They were upwind of the smokestacks.
He didn't think about that.
Because you don't want the smoke to come
Everybody getting cold lung.
out. Yeah. I don't need to smoke.
It must have been really awesome to go to if you were one of those people.
You
and
could,
you
'cause
like
you could see
enemas.
it. You could see it on the train
Yeah.
for hours,
Yeah.
probably. When you're getting closer and you're like, Jesus.
There's a thing though
Christ.
too though where you go like if you like imagine going to this place, okay, and it's a place of opulence and you are cleanliness and you're feeling good and you're not drinking and you haven't had a steak in a minute and you're not smoking because Kellogg will fucking beat the shit out of you. And
Piss on you.
and then piss on you, piss on a post, fuck a dog. But you know, then you go like, all right, now there's this room with these vibrating chairs, and like, oh, maybe I do want to get my eyeballs shocked.
Hey,
Yeah.
Like people, they're doing it. Like nobody's making them.
Yeah.
Nobody is making
Nope.
like it's like do you want to try this therapy?
Yeah.
And like people will try anything,
And they still do.
Yeah.
They still do.
I mean, the stuff people go through now. I mean, people still do colonics, and even though there's no real benefit to it,
Yeah.
people still do the most weird things. Not just in the name of health.
Are enemas just like fucking nonsense?
No, enemas. I mean, enemas are good if you're constipated. You know, an enema is supposed to be like under a pint. Like it's often it'll be like a magnesium salt solution to loosen the bowel, get you moving.
Yeah.
But like constant colonic.
Also, just eating more magnesium will do that.
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. Or absorbing it through the skin, all that.
What is that too? Is that like a lot, like more nuts and stuff? Magnesium?
Nuts, yes. Nuts have it. Epsom salts.
Mm-hmm.
You can absorb it through the skin.
Yeah.
Most people are deficient in magnesium.
Yeah.
In general, it's one of the most important minerals your body.
I think I find anytime I have like an eye twitch,
Yeah.
it's fucking
Eye
magnesium.
twitch, leg twitches, muscle cramps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Everybody should be taking magnesium.
Yeah. And a high fiber breakfast.
Yeah.
Start the day with a big old
Bowl of bran.
yeah. Bowl of bread.
Kellogg, right about a lot.
Yeah.
Wrong
about very
important stuff.
Yeah. Decidedly wrong.
Yeah.
Well, it actually reminds me, you know what I heard recently, and our listeners can tell me if this is true, that if you're the type of person that after you eat Taco Bell, you have to shit immediately, it's because you don't have enough fiber in your diet. Because your body's going, we got it. Okay.
What, the Taco Bell?
Because you're not regulated. Don't have enough fiber in your diet, so your body.
I think if you're the type of person that eats Taco Bell,
you probably don't have enough
fiber in your
Yeah,
diet.
but it's a little bit of correlation there. But something
Actually,
to think
Taco
about.
Bell, I remember back in the day, I think there was Taco Bell was one of the healthier fast food options.
Oh.
Just based on the amount of shredded lettuce.
Without question.
That's the shredded lettuce and corn and beans and rice that are in most
that
of
makes
their
sense. Yeah,
treats.
It's true.
treats. Yeah.
It inherently makes it more healthy than most other fast food options.
Yeah. And it is the most vegetarian friendly by far.
I think the tacos at Jack in the Box are then 2 tacos for 99 cents. If that's still the deal, those are soy meat tacos.
Oh, okay.
But then there's the all beef tacos, and those are more expensive.
Right.
But I think the original 2 taco deal with Jack in the Box, those are meat-based meat alternative.
I wonder what Kellogg's fake meats were like.
Nut-based mainly, soy and nut-based.
Still something they go to when they make fake.
They're still
The only
they
good
still
nut?
sell through various subsidiaries. It's not through Kellogg anymore. I think it's now just through the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Wow.
Or a company called Sanitaria in New Zealand.
No
They
shit.
sell these like canned meat alternatives that like they slice up like it's kind of like the meat version of cranberry sauce.
Yeah, that little can at
It's like
Thanksgiving.
you open up a can of this stuff and you pour it and then you slice it and it's like nut meat.
Yeah.
A lot of weird names, Protos, Granos. They had a lot of scientific
Thanos.
sounding names for these meats, for these nut things.
Yeah.
And we've said it before and we'll say it again. He was right about a lot.
Did you hear anybody say anything like famous? He had a lot of famous patrons there.
Yeah.
Did you hear any like reviews that they talked about?
No. I didn't read anything about like somebody going, I went to the sand and I fucking lost 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And,
But like John, you're saying though, like I'm guessing when they got home, they were like, I feel great. For 2 weeks, I didn't treat myself like garbage can.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Even if I did sneak down to the Red Onion and have a porterhouse and whiskey.
yeah.
That guy must have pissed him off so bad.
Oh yeah, he would he would watch them.
Yeah, man. This guy breaks into girls' rooms to make sure.
Yeah, he'd watch them be like, you guys are fucking up, and then he'd like go buy a piece of raw meat and then make a slide from it and show it on a microscope on a projector. And then compare it to like a piece of shit that he found, and be like, "There's more bacteria on this meat that I bought than on this piece of shit that I found."
This guy loves playing with shit.
He
He loves playing with shit.
He's like, "Oh, wrong slide."
Yeah.
Which slide's which?
Wait.
But which one tastes
This
better?
shit tastes like meat. Oh no!
This meat tastes
Yeah.
like shit.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Where you can go there and you can be like, this guy doesn't jerk off, but he plays with caca a lot.
Yeah, a lot of caca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An
Come on.
enema room, you're like, oh, hey, what's
Dude,
going on?
The Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, did Jack Kirby know about this when he wrote that?
He might have, because, it's like Kellogg was still...
Or was it? Was that not Kirby? That was Ditko.
Ditko.
Oh,
Did
Ditko.
Ditko like
Oh.
visit the sand when he was a kid?
he was a
maybe.
weirdo. He might have.
He might have, yeah.
Yeah. He was.
The Sanctum Sanctorum is Doctor Strange's lair
I really
in the Marvel
wonder.
comics.
Because Ditko seems
Also,
like a guy.
where you could get enemas.
Yeah.
Well, for Doctor Strange.
It's in the village.
Wong!
For Doctor Strange, it's like a mind enema.
That's right. What this town needs is an enema.
Fortify your mind.
With grains and yogurt.
No Brogurt.
No Broger.
Zero Brogurt. Aaron, that was really fun. Man.
Fantastic.
It was fun. Yeah, a little bit all over the place, just based on, the time. A little all over the place kind of guy.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of fucking crazy how his brother kind of usurps him after being a lackey for a long time.
A long time.
So there's a lot of poignancy there.
Yeah, it's very nice for him.
It is. Yeah, I do love that part of the story.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it when he's like, he's out of town,
Yeah.
put sugar in it, put it in a box, let's go.
Fucking get the fuck out of here.
Like, that's what it happened. I mean, it was like a fly-by-night situation.
Yeah.
Like, I just need to give people a taste of this shit,
Yeah.
and then it'll sell itself.
Yeah. And I mean, and you are running it and you're feeling underappreciated. And
Absolutely.
stuff like that. And, you also have this thing too where you're going like, we're in this place which is like a fucking like a Hilton hotel, but the food deliberately sucks and nobody nuts,
Yeah.
and you're like,
So it's just like a Hilton.
and you're going like, I gotta get out of here, dude. I gotta get out of here. I bet he got into coming.
Dude, I bet you this
WK?
guy frosted so many flakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet you he was like Andrew WK after he made all that money.
Yeah, party hard, party hard.
It's fucking just railing lines, nose bleeding.
Oh, and it's just sugar and salt. Chop it up.
All right, Aaron. Great job, buddy.
Great.
Hey, thanks,
work.
man.
Let's get out of here, fellas.
All right.
I'm going to say goodnight. I love you. My name is John Fahey.
I'm Aaron Pita.
Remember so.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night.